Hi everybody, this is Mr. Lichik, and today we are going to discuss our constitutional rights and the process of incorporation. Okay, first a little bit on our constitutional rights. At the core of the American system of government is a belief in human rights or fundamental freedoms. People are free to worship, speak, read, and write freely. There are as few restrictions on those activities as possible. These rights are guaranteed in the U.S. Constitution. Along with these rights, however, goes the responsibility of maintaining them. Maintaining our freedoms is a lifelong obligation of every citizen that involves participating in our democracy and challenging situations that violate our rights and violate those of others. And this principle, this idea, is enshrined in a very important document known as the Bill of Rights, which is the first 10 amendments to the Constitution. So, the Bill of Rights is composed of the first 10 amendments. The framers of the Constitution believed that all people had these rights simply by virtue of being people. They make the famous statement that men are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. These rights cannot be taken away from you for any reason. You have them. You have the right to live with the dignity of a human being just because you are a human being. The Bill of Rights guarantees that the government cannot abuse the rights of individuals. The original Constitution did not include a Bill of Rights, but the states refused to ratify it without one. And there is the motto on the right of the state of New Hampshire: live free or die. The states were very independent, and they were full of very independent people who did not want a government that had too much power over them. Okay, process of incorporation. A process called incorporation eventually extended the Bill of Rights to all levels of government. Initially, it was intended only to apply to the federal government. With time, however, it came to apply to both state and local governments as well. After the Civil War, the 14th Amendment to the Constitution was passed. It made native-born and naturalized citizens of the United States citizens of their states of residence as well. And this served as the legal foundation for making the Bill of Rights applicable nationally. The original purpose of the 14th Amendment was to prevent Southern states from passing laws that limited the rights of former slaves against the will of the national government. The Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment has been interpreted by the Supreme Court to apply the guarantees of the Bill of Rights to state and local governments. It states, "No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law." Liberty has been interpreted to mean all of the freedoms guaranteed in the First Amendment to the Constitution. The Supreme Court decision that nationalized the 14th Amendment, the one that really finalized it, was Gitlow versus New York in 1925. Benjamin Gitlow was on the staff of a revolutionary newspaper called the Revolutionary Age that advocated the violent overthrow of the government. He was arrested for violating the 1902 criminal anarchy law of New York. There were many people at this time called anarchists. They didn't believe in government, and that is why they had the anarchy law. And this law made it a crime to advocate the violent overthrow of the government. Gitlow believed the law was a violation of his First Amendment right to freedom of speech. He lost the case. However, that was not what was important, because the Supreme Court used the Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment to justify their decision that his rights had not been violated by the law. And therefore, this was an acknowledgement that the First Amendment of the Constitution was applicable to state laws. This reference began the process of incorporation of most of the Bill of Rights in future cases. The process of incorporation, or nationalization of the Constitution, has been extremely important in assuring that state and local governments respect the human rights of individuals. That concludes our discussion. Thank you for attending, and I look forward to seeing you in the live lessons. Have a great day.